Okay, where did we last leave our hero? I don't know. I'll just jump in and find out. We're in the den. That's where we left our hero. Alright. Bloop. Oh, crud, yeah. This time we wanted to show us something. The Rebel Alliance headquarters or something, I don't know. This Timora leads you out of the courthouse and into the city. Every time you ask her where she's taking you, she avoids answering your questions. She's gonna kill me. Alright, we're here. We arrive at an empty alley in the frankly seedier part of the city. As Miss Timora approaches one of the derelict buildings, she's met with a large, burly man who's guarding the back door. The man silently acknowledges her and steps aside to let her in. Miss Timora, where are we going? I keep telling you, I'm not telling you. I'm sorry about this, I'm sure you're confused. But please, trust me, I'll explain everything. Before you have a chance to ask for more information, she moves into the building. The man guarding the door looks at you expectantly. The entire situation doesn't sit right with you, but you still continue to follow her. Despite your recent disagreements, you know that you can trust her. As you head further into the building, you find yourself in a surprisingly well-furnished room. From how it looked outside, you would have never guessed that it would look like this. It almost looks like a room you'd encounter in the Frigga Manor, except without chandeliers. As you enter the room, you spot several mercenaries standing at various points in the room. And most surprisingly, you see Eris standing at the end of the room. You give her a confused look, but she simply smiles and waves at you. Sitting at the next to her, you see a man with an eye patch. It looks like he's been expecting you. Ah, Timora. On seeing you two, he cordially welcomes Miss Timora before turning his attention to you. And you must be Tyrion. Timora has told me a lot about you. I see, but who are you? I've been called many names over the years, but my favorite has always been the Eye Taker. Occupation, boss. The Eye Taker? From the sounds of it, you've already heard of me. Miss Timora, what is this? My daughter Eris has told me all about your work prosecuting this case. She's his daughter? But I have to say, I'm quite impressed. Getting a monkey to testify? I don't think I could even pull off a grift like that. You've pretty much blown past my expectations. Why, I get to the point. As soon as you interrupt him, you feel every person in the room tense up. You don't even need the eye to know that your interruption put them on edge. Relax, everyone. Kids will be kids. I'm a father myself, you know? Yeah! Anyways, I'll get straight to the point. I have a certain interest in the outcome of this trial. What are you talking about? Little Lady Frigga has been a client of ours for a long time. I've done quite a lot of favors for her, and the time has finally come for me to collect. Those debts that Steelwind mentioned, they all belong to me. There's no need to worry. I know she's good for it. That is, if she can inherit House Frigga. What? Timora is a good attorney, even without my help. If she's convicted, we could easily reduce her sentence by rubbing the right hands. But you see, there's that pesky slaver rule. The thing is, Cuthbert, I need Beatrice Frigga to be acquitted in the current trial. So that's what this is about? House Frigga's gold? That's why you helped her murder William Frigga? Please, my goals aren't nearly so short-sighted. I have big plans, not just for Beatrice, but for this entire kingdom. And I need House Frigga for that. Just like you needed Justin Way. Tyrion! Ah, Justin. It's really a shame what happened to him. Don't act so innocent. He would have never tried to rob Drakeagen if you didn't threaten him. Is that so? You think I just randomly showed up on his doorstep one day demanding gold? He was the one who came to me for help. I just told him to pay back what he owed. If he hadn't come to me, it would have been some other criminal. But that's besides the point. Enough about what I wanted from Justin. Let's talk about what I want from you. You want me to throw the case? Ah, I love this kid. I don't have to beat around the bush with this one. No one will doubt you, especially considering the amount of work you put into this already. You don't need to do anything. Just take a dive. And let someone else take the fall. No matter what happens, the court will blame someone for this. If it makes you feel better, I can assign Timur to defend the old man and his monkey. That way everyone can come out of this unharmed. Everyone wins. Except for the fact that a murderer will be put in charge of House Frege. Please, as if that's any worse than the people in charge of the other noble houses. If you recall, there's already a murderer in charge of House von Sanctus. True. They're all dirty. You've seen it, haven't you? They rig the system, they pay, threaten, or even kill people to get in their way. All we're doing is leveling the playing field. Tyrion, please, just listen to him. How could you just go along with this? I told you a long time ago that there were certain parts of my job that I couldn't tell you about. Well, this is it. This is what we need to do to beat them. Those rumors about you, they're all true, aren't they? Forgery, bribery, blackmail, you're guilty of each and every one of them. And you used him to do it, all so you could keep winning. You blackmailed Miriam, Miss Timur. Oh, as if we should show any pity for that spoiled princess. Dreadful thought just entered your mind. Steelwind. She was attacked the day that Beatrice was arrested. Was that... I don't know that's what they were planning. Didn't. Despite my confidence in Timur's skills, I'm afraid there was too much riding on this to leave to chance. You've got to make your own luck if you want to beat the system. How could you? She almost died. We never expected her to strain her injuries like that, and we definitely didn't expect you to take her place. So believe me when I say that I'm being uncharacteristically reasonable right now. How could you even consider working with someone like him? Don't you think it's a little arrogant to judge her, Cuthbert? What? You talk about defending people as if you two are even close to being equals. But she doesn't have the luxury of looking into people's minds, now does she? You told him about the Eye of Horus? The future of magic is changing, kid. Like I said before, I have big plans for this kingdom, and I also have big plans for you. Do you think I would ever... Tyrion, stop! To be honest, I hate it as much as you do. But whether you like it or not, we need their help. But this is... Think about every client you defended. Think of Celeste. If she didn't have the Eye of Horus, what would have happened to her? If even one thing went differently, Pierce would have gotten away and Celeste would have been executed. You've taken chances and followed your instincts. And that's worked for you so far. But what if that's not enough? What if the system is too corrupt for you to fight against next time? With the Eye Taker's help, you'll never have to worry about that again. If I had accepted his help sooner, I could have saved your mother. So what's it gonna be, kid? You already know about what happened to that Steelwind brat. Hey, don't you dare call her a brat. So I don't need to tell you what'll happen if you don't play ball. Wait. No. What? Maybe you're right. Maybe I can't always win against the nobility unless I play dirty like they do. But this is wrong. Tyrion, I'm not going to compromise my principles. Not even for you, Ms. Timur. I'm sorry to hear you say that, kid. I really am. With one motion of his hand, every mercenary in the room draws their weapons. Please, you don't have to do this. Whatever conviction you had before is slowly fading. You should have never entered this place. You knew something was off. There are about a dozen mercenaries here, and there's even more guarding the way out. Why did you have to, like, blurt that out to his face? You're nowhere near as physically strong as Celeste, but maybe you can make a break for it if you get lucky. No! Celeste? What the? How did you get in here? My whole job is keeping this guy safe. Do you honestly think I just let you take him to an undisclosed location? It doesn't matter. As if one girl will make a difference. Well, what are you all waiting for? Is that really her? Upon seeing Celeste, the mercenaries cautiously step back. No one wants to make the first move. This monstrous aura, it has to be her. What the hell are you doing? You have her surrounded. Despite his command, no one takes a step forward. Look, let's just all sit down and talk about this rationally. Perhaps a different approach is warranted here, Father. What? Could I have the opportunity to speak with Mr. Cuthbert? I believe I can make him see things our way. She's an enchantress. Don't ignore the tooltip. I'm sorry, sweetie, but I just can't. Well, you've never been wrong before. I'll leave them to you, love. Shall we go, you two? Celeste silently watches Eris with her sword drawn, but unlike the mercenaries, Eris seems unmoved. Bro, you just need a will saving throw. We got this. She merely walks past her and out the exit. You and Celeste exchange glances and follow after her. That was close. I don't think I could have fought that whole room while protecting you. Does that mean she could have fought them off if she were alone? You two are really courageous to a fault, aren't you? Eris, I appreciate you vouching for us, but I'm not changing my mind about this. Oh, I'm well aware of that. Why do you think I intervened? Oh, well, thank you. Is this really okay? Won't your dad be mad? I should be asking Tyrion that same question. You've seen your adoptive mother's true colors and rejected them. How are the two of you going to move forward? She's not my... Isn't she, though? She lost any right to deny it the moment she took it upon herself to raise you. She only did that because I asked her to. It wasn't her choice. Oh, but it was. How old were you when your real mother was executed? 10 years old? Eris, back then you barely knew Tymora. It would have been a stretch to even call her a family friend. She was the adult in that situation, and what did she do? She fed your anger and hatred for the nobility instead of allowing you to process your grief healthily. Tymora took you away from your only friends and isolated you from society. She even homeschooled you, didn't she? That's... As a result, you never formed any other relationships. You made your first close friend at the age of 20, and she was your client. Don't you think that's a bit sad? Aww. She isolated you because she wanted to use you. That's not true. That's not why she... From what I've seen today, you clearly have no idea who Tymora is. Even with the Eye of Horus, you're clearly a terrible judge of character. Eris, you're going way too far. To save you from more heartache, let me give you one last piece of advice. Eris leans in really close to you and begins to whisper into your ear. Do you honestly think that Celeste will ever love you? Yes? I think so. I think there's a good shot. What? I'm sure you understand now. Tymora can only afford to pay her exorbitant salary because of my father. See, I told you. You've already burned that bridge, so where do you think the Crimson Demon will go when you can't afford her services anymore? No, she's not. With Flintheart dead, she has to worry about her mother. Do you think she has the luxury of playing around with you for free? Or do you actually think she enjoys spending time with you? Tyrion, you have to look at this rationally. Any support or affection that she's given you has only been to keep you as an employer. You seem to know a lot about these things. I had a lot to do with networking when I was a mercenary. Do you know how many times I had to charm a merchant into hiring me? Oh no! Bad context. Why are you doing this? Because I want to finally because I'm just trying to keep you from getting hurt. It may seem cruel, but you have to be realistic about these things. You trusted Timora, and she betrayed you. Try not to make the same mistake twice. Celeste didn't hear anything she said, but she seems to notice how it's affecting you. Eris, that's enough! Ah, my apologies. I've been told that I've been too blunt sometimes, but I do hope you'll think about what I said. Anyways, the trial should be starting soon. Made the same mistake twice, but only one time. That's good. We should make our way back to the courthouse. I'm genuinely curious to see how this trial ends. Hey, Tyrion, are you okay? What did she say to you? She reaches for your hand, but you instinctively yank it away from hers. Tyrion? Sorry, I didn't mean to. I'm okay. Really? Okay. Is he mad at me? Can't think about everything. You can think about everything else later, but for now, you know what you need to do. You need to convict Beatrice Frege. Murmur, murmur, murmur. Court is now resumed for the trial of Beatrice Frege. Is the defendant prepared to take the stand? Timora, I asked you a question. Is the defendant prepped or not? She is. If the prosecution still wants to move forward with, the prosecution will be moving forward with this. Please bring in the witness. Okay. Do you still see it, Celeste? Yeah, it's still there. Should I reveal it now? No, let's really make a point of it. Wait for my signal. Thank you for agreeing to take the stand, Ms. Frege. Mr. Cuthbert? It's my understanding that you were with the two princes for most of the night. Princes who adore you. Yes, I was. Which is why I'm still quite confused as to why I'm being charged for this crime. Out of everyone there that night, I'd have thought my alibi was the most solid. Yeah, you got it, Penguin. That remains to be seen. Clearly. Anyways, since you still maintain your innocence, you'll have no problem going into detail about your supposed alibi. Okay? As you know, I was with the Crown Prince Aster and Prince Alaric for the most of the ball. I went there after my meeting with my father, and I remained with them until I was arrested for his murder. Lord Steelwind and the Kingsguard kept watch over me the entire night as well. I neither had the means nor the opportunity to steal the sword of spell-eating and break into my father's study to murder him. Objection! Oh, I didn't even have to push a button. And that, Ms. Frege, is where you're mistaken. You definitely had the means to commit both crimes while under the eye of everyone there that night. Huh? The most effective tool an attorney has is revealing a contradiction in a witness's testimony. In this game, it only completely shatters your opponent's it not only completely shatters your opponent's argument, it also makes the court doubt whether the witness is acting in good faith. Usually, you've used evidence to reveal contradictions like this. Now, Celeste! A burrito! Wait, what are you doing? Oh my gosh, she has an imp? I thought it'd be like a pigeon or a rat or something. Your Honor, the witness's testimony is clearly... what the hell is that thing? Tyrion, get behind me. Oh, I love the imps on the... Wait, where'd the judge go? Someone call the Inquisition, the Kingsguard, anyone. Your Honor, can you please restore order? Rip. Your Honor? Yeah, he fled out the back door the moment he saw me. Occupation, demonic familiar. It can talk? It's a demon. It must be. It's just like the legends say. Can we all just calm down? It takes a while before you can get everyone in the room to settle down. Eventually, it was clear that the demon wasn't intent on harming anyone. At least not yet. The court ordered extra guards just in case, and you're eventually able to bring everyone back to the courtroom. You can talk. I can sing! Mr. Cuthbert, what is the meaning of this? Sorry, I didn't know it was Actually, what are you? Are you a demon? Why, yes, I am a demon. Demons actually exist? I thought they were only a legend. Your Honor, not only do demons exist, the defendant has made one into her familiar. She's only blind in the literal sense. She's constantly looking through the eyes of her familiar to see. And? What do you mean, and? It's pretty obvious that making a pact with a demon is incriminating by itself. Hey, Technomagus. Tell me, Your Honor, do the laws of Wivengard prohibit entering an accord with a demon? Nah, I got through the cutscene where they go to, like the rebel base. And then Celeste stands up to them. And then Aerys, convinces Tyrion that Celeste is only in it for the money. Finished the game last night. Last case is quite a ride. Okay, I'll just ask you, if it took me like 5 hours or so to do like the first 3 episodes, and this one's looking like it's going to be like 7 or 8 hours, how much time should I set aside if I want to do episode 5 in one sitting? Real question, you can answer. So I want to know, maybe I'll like do like an all-day Saturday stream and do it all in one sitting. Tell me, Your Honor, do the laws of oh, wait, I read that. They don't, but my client has committed no crime. Even so, I would have preferred not revealing Maranath like that. Maranath? Marunath. Total game was a little under 14 hours. Okay, so like what percentage of that, I guess, was episode 8 or episode 5? It is what most people call me. Marunath. Demonic familiar. I suppose you have a point, Timora. Having a demon as your familiar isn't technically illegal. However, this does prove that the defendant had a way to commit the murder, all while under the eye of everyone in the ballroom. She could have sent Maranath upstairs to the gallery, and then had him steal the sword of spell eating. After that, they would just need to traverse the events into William's study, just like Eugene did that night. The fact that her familiar is a demon proves that she couldn't have done that. What do you mean? You saw how everyone reacted when they saw Maranath's form. Let me just remind one more time. I'm gonna remind you. Okay. We all got it, right? Someone surely would have reported Maranath if they saw him. Timora, your client is a master of illusion magic. Can I assume that we'll find invisibility in her spell compendium? You might. And with the connection granted by familial bond, she could have cast a spell on him regardless of where each of them was. If he was holding the sword? I'll admit that my client does know how to cast invisibility, but your theory raises another question. Could my client continue casting it unnoticed? Continue casting it? You'll understand once I go over the orders of events that night. At an unknown time, someone stole the Sword of Spell Eating from the Haraldson Gallery. Due to the timing of this, I'll admit that it would be logically consistent if my client was a thief. However, sometime later, my client met with the Crown Prince and was watched closely by the Kingsguard. From witness accounts, including yours, we know this happened at 12:45 a.m. Case tried probably a little bit longer than case where, so I'd say set aside 6 to 7 hours. Do it one goes to be narrative plus contemplation time. Okay. Yeah. We'll see. I might try to do like do it straight through on Saturday, but we'll see. So I'll probably, after this episode, probably take a break for a couple days. 12:45, and since this time, my client didn't leave the Kingsguard's sight. It was around this time that William Frager retreated into his study and locked the door. He made a point of telling everyone that he didn't want to be disturbed. Then, at 1:03 a.m., Lord Haraldson finally discovered that the sword was stolen. He reported the theft to the Kingsguard, and they activated the lockdown system. Wait, was the Kingsguard there before the theft was reported? I thought they showed up in response to that. Shortly after the report, Leafa Frege tried to speak with her father about the theft. William Frege reiterated that he did not want to be disturbed. Leafa saw his face, and there weren't any traces of illusion directly on his body. This means that William Frege was still alive at this time. Unbeknownst to everyone at the time, William Frege was attacked by the murderer at 3:12 a.m. This is confirmed not only by Jan Hughes' testimony, but also by the autopsy report. Then at 3:26 a.m., the Kingsguard found the sword of spell eating in my client's old room. The Kingsguard tried to arrest my client for this, but the Crown Prince told them to stand down. Finally, at 3:36 a.m., the lockdown was lifted. Jan Hughes reported what he heard, and that's when the Inquisition and the Kingsguard discovered the body. The theft must have happened before 1:23 a.m. when it was actually reported. In order to keep Marunath concealed at every step, my client would have needed to keep it invisible from 1:03 a.m. to 3:12 a.m. I'm guessing the duration's 1 hour? I don't have to guess. Yeah, okay. Not only that, she needed Marunath to wield the sword of spell eating to ignore the effects of the anti-magic fields. This means he would need to be invisible for more than 1 hour. What's your point? My point is that invisibility has a duration of 1 hour. I'll admit that my client could have cast invisibility before she met with the Crown Prince, but if she wanted to keep Marunath invisible, she would have needed to recast the spell at some point that night. And as you know, my client couldn't have done so during that night without the Kingsguard noticing it. Your logic makes sense. But that can only mean that the defendant refreshed the invisibility right in front of everyone watching. In front of the entire Kingsguard, the two princes, and Lucio Steelwind? As unlikely as it is, it's the only conclusion I can come to. I had a feeling you'd say that, which is why we have a witness who can confirm that Beatrice didn't perform any magic that night. A witness? Your Honor, the defense would like to call Prince Alarak to the stand. Huh. He would have certainly been close enough to notice the defendant casting magic, but wouldn't the Crown Prince's testimony be more suitable? Why? Alarak was, hanging out with her more than Aster was. Are you trying to say that Prince Alarak is unqualified to give proper testimony, Your Honor? Of course he's saying that. The kid is 7 years old. She has the subtle casting feat. She doesn't, though. She's been, clapping the whole time, which is the somatic component of the illusion spell. Is the prince ready to testify? Grow a spine. For the scaled lord's sake. Oh, this is a new song, I think. Thank you for coming in, Prince Alarak. Could you please... Hold your tongue, knave. You will speak when you are spoken to. Ugh. Oh, goodness. He sounds exactly like Miriam when we first met her. Honestly, he behaves exactly how I'd expect a prince with his rotten kingdom to act. Aster's the odd one out in this situation. Makes you wonder what made him so down to earth. Kinda curious about that, too. Your Highness? Mr. Cuthbert believes that the defendant used her magic while she was with you and the Crown Prince. I already gave my statement to the investigators. This man dares to question my testimony? Yes, he said it, not me. Wow, the judge didn't even think twice about throwing you under. But very well, if my testimony is required to strike down these redundant accusations, I will bestow it upon you. Redundant? Don't you mean ridiculous? Mr. Cuthbert, do not dare to suppose what His Highness really means. His boots must be shining from all that licking you're doing. What was that? Nothing. I don't think Phoenix has ever talked smack straight to the judge. I think that's a new one. Maybe oh, I guess he has. Maybe he's muttered under his breath. You think Lady Frege cast magic right in front of me? Don't be a serf. She was under the careful watch of the Kingsguard, my brother, and Lord Steelwind. We conversed for the whole night, and I didn't see her cast any magic. She's been through so much over the last few years, all because of her horrid father. She'd never do something like this. You and Lady Steelwind are just jealous. Seems really convinced that he didn't see anything. You doubt that he's intentionally lying. Celeste, usually when you cast Detect Magic, I can see magical energies overlaying your eyes. Yeah, there's always a visible magic on the target when I cast a spell. But Marunath was probably in another room. The Kingsguard wouldn't see the initial magic effect of invisibility. Even if there was an invisible effect in that room, She would still have needed to say the incantation, perform the gesture with her hands. I don't think there was a verbal component. Let's double check here. Oh, there is a verbal. Occultery? What if she actually has been saying it and I didn't notice because it like sounds like a real word? Oh, culture E. Kultari. Array. 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 Occult. Occult. Array. Right. But maybe she does have silent spell. She doesn't. Alright. Is subtle spell a 5th edition thing that encompasses still spell and silent spell? Oh, cool. Atari. That's right. The Fregas had an Atari 2600 hooked up in the den during the ball. Right, like I used to shout, Repario Arcanum every time you scan a crime scene. I don't shout it. You do, and it's adorable. Anyway, she must have done the incantation and gesture at some point during the night. Did she ever get an opportunity to conceal herself to do so? Well, she is a compulsive clapper. Celeste, what do you usually need to do to cast a spell? There are a lot of factors involved, honestly. Stamina and focus are a big part of it. Assuming she's in the perfect condition, what's the bare minimum that she would need to do? Well, she would have to focus her magic, say the incantation, and perform the gesture with her hands, all at the same time. Cross-product examination. I made that joke already. That does sound pretty conspicuous, but she must have hidden it somehow. It probably meant don't be absurd, but there's not much to gain from correcting him. Yeah, you'd think he would want serfs. It's my first day. Quack, quack, quack. You may think the idea is absurd, Your Highness, but the defendant was clearly good at keeping secrets. She could have easily concealed her action at some point during the night. A brief moment to say the incantation and perform the gesture would have been all she needed. But I wasn't the only one watching her. But would they have really noticed her casting one spell? The Kingsguard are the most vigilant knights in the kingdom. They are trained to watch and counter a mage's spell. But the defendant needed to target someone who was in another area. There would be no visual indication that she was using magic. But she still would have needed to perform the incantation and complete the somatic component. He's pretty knowledgeable about the arcane arts, but as a Prince of Wyverngard, you suppose that's to be expected. He's an evoker? If I recall correctly, you and your brother were with her until she was arrested for the murder. What did you speak about? She told us stories about what she did while she was away. She was researching something. I forgot what she said. Something about the old cult. Oh, man. There it is. Do you mean the occult? Yes, that's it. She was researching ghosts and demons. Considering who her familiar is, her research must have paid off. Anyways, Your Highness, could you please add this to your testimony? If I must. Show me and my brother how the occult are a fascinating phenomenon. Or the occult are, well, he gets words wrong all the time. I can't, it's fine. It's his first day. Wouldn't saying the occult is a fascinating phenomenon be more grammatically correct? Come on, Tyrion, don't be one of those guys that corrects other people's grammars. Oh, they called me out. Yeah, we all say things incongruently sometimes. Feel like he might be projecting a little. She's been through so much over the last few years, all because of her horrid father. Clearly sympathetic to her situation. But you must have only been a toddler when she left 5 years ago. My brother spoke of her a lot. He told me all about her. I could tell from his face, he was really sad that she ran away. Even if it's not romantic, Esther clearly cares about her a lot. The prosecutor must have complicated feelings about that. Well, I can't speak for Miss Steelman, but I'm just trying to get to the truth. Liar! You just hate her because she's a noble, don't you? Lord Von Sanctus told me all about you. You just want to lock nobles up because you're jealous of how much gold we have. So he speaks with Von Sanctus frequently. That actually explains a lot about his personality. Celeste, what do you usually... Oh. We already said this. The occult are a fascinating phenomena. Occult are, No, dude, the bad grammar is intended.
Objection!
To cast a spell, a mage needs to speak an incantation, but there's nothing that says you can't say anything before or after it. And before you say it, Penguin, there was already a literal airbud clause in this chapter. When we had to test and bring a monkey to the witness stand. Your Highness, according to your testimony, the defendant told you that the occult are a fascinating phenomena. Is that exactly what she said, word for word? Yes. These stories she told us were quite interesting. They really stuck a court with me. I see. Well, even if they were interesting, your testimony proves that she did cast a spell of invisibility that night. Are you deaf? I already told you. No one heard her say any incantations, nor did they see her perform any gestures. Unfortunately, your testimony proves the contrary. Beatrice Frege said an incantation and performed a gesture right in front of you, all without anyone even knowing it. What? Your Highness, there are two components required to cast invisibility. First, the caster must speak the incantation, Occult Aura, and clap both of their hands together. As I'm sure you noticed, the defendant has a habit of clapping both of her hands to calm herself. Now that I think about it, that habit must have come from constantly casting this spell. The defendant requires Marineth to see, so she must constantly cast invisibility to keep him invisible. Cuthbert, you may have an explanation for how she hid the gesture, but she would have still needed to speak the incantation. However, she did speak the incantation. The witness's testimony proves it. What are you talking about? I never said that she spoke any incantation. Your Highness, the incantation for invisibility is Occult Aura. Now, recall what you said in your testimony. She said the Occult Aura. Fascinating phenomena. The pronunciation of that one phrase is identical to the incantation. I see, so she hid the incantation in her conversation. And because of her target was a creature that was outside of the ballroom, no one saw the magical effects. This means that Marineth had the means to murder William Frege, just as Eugene did. Having the means is completely different from actually having done it, Cuthbert. Very few people had the ability to shatter the display case to steal the Sword of Spell Eating, and even fewer people had a familiar small enough to traverse events. Which also makes Haraldsson's familiar an equally likely suspect, and unlike my client's familiar, he admitted to breaking into William's study that night. Your client's familiar is truly innocent, then why not have him testify before the court? Oh, man. Are we gonna get this demon to swear an oath? We gotta swear him in. I see. Well, it's not as if he's the first unprecedented witness we've had today. Summon the other parrot. Is Marineth willing to testify, Miss Tamora? You see Tamora deliberating with Beatrice and Marineth. You can't hear what they're saying, but they're clearly in a disagreement with each other. Marineth in particular seems to be the most vocal about his displeasure. Huh. Your Honor, unfortunately, Marineth is unwilling to testify. Why the change of heart? My client's familiar may be a demon, but he's afforded the same rights as any other person. He's not obligated to testify. Look at Marineth, and he's grinding his very sharp teeth together. For some reason, he appears to be looking at you with intense hatred. Why are they being so secretive all of a sudden, anyway? It's regular MO of Ace Attorney games, which this is based on. Are these like, oh, Matlock episodes where they can only win on defense by proving that someone else committed the crime? Really? I didn't know that was a Matlock thing. So you're telling me Capcom ripped off Matlock? That's interesting. Tamura had no issues with Beatrice taking the stand earlier, so why should she change her tune when it comes to Marineth? And despite what she said, Marineth seems like he disagrees with their decision the most. Is it possible that he's the weakest link of the three of them? I haven't seen Matlock in 30 years. Gotcha. If so, he might be the key to implicating them. Capcom based it off the old Japanese justice system. Oh. Okay. So Matlock is based on Japanese justice. And according to the legends, demons take great pride in their ability to deceive and corrupt people. You wonder. I see. Marineth is well in his rights to refuse, if that's what he truly wants. It is. Well, I suppose it's for the best. I doubt he'd be able to corroborate your story at all. Marineth grinds his teeth together. It sounds like metal grinding on metal. Considering his diminutive figure, I don't blame him for being a coward. Mr. Cuthbert, could you please refrain from provoking the literal demon? Oh, it's fine, Your Honor. He can't do anything without his master's word. Without his master sword. I should have said, alright, let's take that line again. Oh, it's fine, Your Honor. He can't do anything without his master sword. Between him and the defendant, it's clear that Beatrice is the brains of the operation. Is he pulling a Sideshow Bob during the political election corruption episode? Ringo to his rest of the Beatles. You shut your filthy celestial mouth. It worked. Marineth, what are you doing? I will not stand here and be insulted by a bloody Heavensborn. Heavensborn? I am still within my contract, and I will not flee from the likes of him. You want my testimony? I'll give you my goddamned testimony.
Objection!
Objection? Your Honor, my client does not consent to having her familiar testify. Tamura, didn't you say earlier that Marineth is afforded the same rights as any other person? He has the right to refuse to testify, but only he can decide if he wants to exercise it. And he's clearly intent on giving it. So, Marineth, why don't you testify about what you were doing on the night of the murder?
Gladly. I provided sight to my keeper while she spoke with the princess. I'll admit that she did cast invisibility on me during their conversation. She needed to keep me hidden after all. But I never left the room where my master was. Nor did I steal the sword as spell-eating. You have nothing on me, Heavensborn. You don't even have proof that I entered William Frega's study.
Do you honestly expect us to take your word for it? Was he sworn in? Do you have any evidence to support your alibi?
I only speak the truth, Heavensborn. There were mages other than my keeper that could have stolen the sword. And by your own admission, none of your witnesses saw me on the night of the murder. The one lacking evidence is you.
He has a point. You still need definitive proof that ties him to the murder. Presenting contradicting evidence might not be possible. However, he's clearly lying in his testimony, and there's something strange about the way he's speaking. Why is he pausing so much? You're not seeing any thoughts to the eye, but perhaps you can try to interpret the meaning of his words. Ooh. Is this something that you frequently do?
Yes, my keeper's accident left her completely blind. She looks through my eyes to see her surroundings.
And did she look through your eyes while she was with the princes?
Yes, she did.
You took a bit of a pause before answering your question. Wait, does that mean she normally casts invisibility every hour?
My keeper is a powerful mage, and my pact with her has only made her stronger.
Wow, that's actually really impressive. Really? Casting spells may look effortless, but continuously casting spells takes a lot of stamina out of the caster. She must have a lot of stamina if she can cast high-level illusion every hour. And did your master leave the room while she was with the princes?
No. I'm sure you remember my keeper was under the careful watch of the Kingsguard and Lucio Steelwind.
And you're maintaining that you never left the ballroom.
As I said, I never left the room where my master was.
So you have two masters? Ruby? He has a habit of pausing before he responds to you, but it only happens sometimes. Is it some strange demon accent, or is it something else? Beatrice was one of the few mages present that could shatter the glass.
Yes, but being able to do something and actually doing it are two different things.
Oh, he's right. You won't be able to convict Beatrice until you can connect Marinath to their murder. You have a feeling he's the one that's going to give it to you.
You have nothing on me, Heavensborn. You don't even have proof that I entered William Frigga's study.
Why do you keep calling me that?
Oh, does the Heavensborn not know the nature of his blood?
Your blood? Could he be referring to your mother? Wait, do you know where my abilities come from?
Oh, how marvelous. You don't know, do you? If you make a pact with me, child, I can tell you the nature of your blood. And much, much more.
Sir Cuthbert, please don't make deals with the devil in my courtroom. I wasn't planning to, Your Honor. You clearly know something making a deal with a demon is just asking for trouble. You could also just be trying to distract you. You should try to stay on task. Definitely more direct than most witnesses. Yeah, but he's clearly lying. There's something off about the way he's speaking. He paused before saying certain statements. You need to interpret the statement that seems the most suspicious. She needed to keep me hidden after all. I never left the room where my master was. This seems the most like could have a double meaning type of deal.
Objection!
He keeps taking pauses before certain statements, but not all of them. And more importantly, his word choice was different. Did he slip up? Marinath, it looks like you misspoke and used the wrong word.
What?
Through most of your testimony, you referred to Beatrice Frigga as your keeper, but you referred to her as your master during one statement. Why is that? The first time, he doesn't have a response. So I'll ask you again. Did you leave the ballroom that night?
I didn't leave the room where my master was.
Oh, we got it. He's using the word master again, even though you pointed it out. Why isn't he correcting it? Does that mean he's intentionally using that term? If so, why? Why is Matthew using the term master? There has to be a reason why. Beatrice is not William's master. Easy. That was entire time was his keeper. I said Williams. The demon's name is not William. Okay. If you take his words at face value, the master he is referring to isn't Beatrice. If Beatrice isn't his master. Oh, shoot. Then his statement, I never left the room where my master was, would technically be true. But why even bother making that distinction? He clearly has no moral hang-ups about committing murder. He could have just lied. Or can he? Why wouldn't Marineth simply lie? Demons apparently pride themselves on tricking and corrupting humans. So why wouldn't he just lie in his testimony? He's... Oh, man. Demons have to keep their pacts, which includes being sworn in court. So he literally can't lie. Or he'll die. Oh, baby. So good. Demons. Oh. Or it's simpler than that. Demons are not able to. But it can't be. Demons are clearly different. I think they're thinking of devils, not demons. Demons are chaotic evil. Demons are clearly different from humans, but would they seriously have a limitation like that? It would explain why Tamora and Beatrice were so opposed to having him testify. There's only one way to know for sure. Witness, can you repeat the following statement for me? This pen is blue. I mean, it's a courtroom game. They have to make a reference to liar, liar, right? Tyrion Cuthbert's hair is green. Ugh. What kind of ridiculous question is that? Another pause. I'm afraid I must agree, Mr. Cuthbert. Please don't waste our time. I'm just conducting a little experiment, Your Honor. So I'll ask you again, Marineth. Say the following phrase. Tyrion Cuthbert's hair is green. Cross product is the most handsome devil in all of the eastern coast. Your Honor, Cuthbert is clearly making trivial requests to stall for time. His request is not worth a response from the witness. That's not what I'm doing, Tamora, and I think you know that. Marineth. We truly don't know much about demons aside from the stories told in myths. So is it possible that demons are physically unable to lie? Damn it. I'm sorry, Mr. Cuthbert, but that seems quite ridiculous. Why wouldn't a witness be capable of lying? I genuinely don't know, Your Honor, but his testimony speaks for itself. You can easily refute it by granting my request. Say Tyrion Cuthbert's hair is green, witness. Why don't you just go dye his hair green? And then say it. You said it yourself. Tyrion Cuthbert's hair is green. Oh, he got around it by putting it in quotation marks. What a sneaky little devil, dude. That's not what I asked for, witness. Repeat the statement I told you word for word. Nothing after or before it.
Objection.
Your Honor, the prosecution's argument is absurd. The witness is not obligated to fulfill such an outrageous request. Oh, I might be compelled to agree with you, Ms. Tamora. If the witness wasn't clearly avoiding fulfilling that request. Well, we're all waiting, Marineth. But he's under oath. He's under oath, dude! You're gonna trick him into perjuring? You can easily prove me wrong by repeating my statement plainly.
Ah, you filthy heavensborn!
Say it, Marineth.
Tyrion Cuthbert's hair is... Tyrion Cuthbert's hair is... blonde.
Only at relativistic speeds. I would have loved if he actually just cast some illusion spell to make his hair actually green. Technically, it's a dirty blonde.
Oh, shut up!
Is Mr. Cuthbert correct, Marineth? Yes, it's dirty blonde. You actually unable. Oh, I thought they were gonna make the joke.
Ah.
I think his silence speaks for itself, Your Honor. Remarkable. I would have never imagined. And with that, proving my case becomes a much simpler matter. Marineth, did you murder William Frege? I'm sure you understand, witness. Under these circumstances, staying silent is basically an admission of guilt. That's not how the Fifth Amendment works. You have no reason to stay quiet, Marineth. Tell him the truth. Oh, shoot.
Lady Beatrice, what are you?
I believe it's time to come clean, don't you, Marinette? This is really based on Japanese law. This is based on Phoenix Wright. I don't know what Phoenix Wright is based on historically. So, like, the thing in Phoenix Wright, from what I've heard, is that it takes place in the future where the legal system is like, they kind of rushed cases through the legal system and they have to finish court cases within 3 days. And, like, they can't find someone innocent unless they find the real murderer. They may not have a Fifth Amendment, true.
Ah, I see. So that's your play.
Don't think you can just stall for time, Ms. Frege. Marinette has no choice but to answer the question. Do it, Marinette. Tell the court the truth.
To answer your question, yes. I did murder William Frege.
What are you doing? Ms. Frege, does this mean that you were confessing to the murder? Aww. Poor Marinette. His keeper threw him under the bus. Oh, Your Honor, I am not admitting to anything. This confession comes from Marinette himself. But your own familiar just... Let me ask you a question, Marinette. Did I order you to murder my father?
No, you did not, Lady Beatrice.
Oh, what are you talking about? You're lying, aren't you? Demons are physically unable to lie, Mr. Cuthbert. Damn it, she's right. She must have done something. Did she plan for this? She must have arranged things so that that statement would be technically true. She could have asked someone else to give the order, or she could have just implied it. Either way, she can just plead ignorance and blame everything on Marinette. Still, this isn't over. Oh? Is that so? Let me tell you, this trial was over the moment Arya turned her blade against me. Arya has a blade? I thought she had a cane. I don't care who you are, man, king, or demon. You're not going to get away with this. Oh, I do love the gravitas behind that, but I wonder how long it will last. Hit me with your best shot. Fire away, Heavensborn. Oh, I didn't save before the argument. No! Beatrice Frege, you may not have technically ordered your father's murder, but you were clearly acting with malice. You brought something dangerous into the matter, something that you knew would harm your father. Oh, really? And what would that be? I didn't bring anything dangerous into Frege Manor. Alright, 1 minute.
Chumps, it's time to argue!
Alright. It was so dangerous that it implies lethal intent. Really a good question. Rats? A letter opener. I mean, if we want to call out Marinette, that's it, huh? For this. This guy's pretty dangerous. What was the question? I didn't bring anything dangerous into Frege Manor. I mean, I can't really say that it's the demon. She didn't bring the sword in. And the demon's just the familiar she uses on her day-to-day. Alright, let's just look at everything. Attorney's runestone. Probably not. The earrings of vitality. Beatrice Frigus completed the punch on receiving this referred to cervical medical reports. Time because does as well as your throat was slashed. But like the only thing she brought in was the imp. Let's just. We still haven't explained the crushed handle. Maps. She brought Celeste's sword. Who are you? What do you want? You heard. I mean, I literally can't. She brought herself. You brought Marineth in the Fragan Manor that night. You were clearly planning to murder your father from this. It's her familiar, though. Like, that's a bullcrap answer. Ha! I require Marineth to see. That does not imply lethal intent. But you brought a demon into that house, and as a result, your father was killed. That's hardly an innocent mistake. My client specifically asked her father if familiars were allowed. We even received a written legal confirmation beforehand. But he couldn't have possibly expected her to bring in a demon. He didn't specify not to do this. Ain't no law that says a demon can't be a familiar. The presence of Marineth did not break any of his rules, nor any laws made by the kingdom. Right you are, Tamora. I can hardly be blamed if my familiar acts without my knowledge. How can you be blameless in Marineth's actions? He's your familiar. By that same logic, shouldn't we also blame Lord Harrelson for the actions of his pet monkey? If I recall, he broke into the study, tampered with the crime scene, and then left my father's body without reporting it. And destroyed his will. Well, his will wouldn't have been valid anyway. That's... Marineth and Eugene are intelligent and sentient creatures. They have their own autonomy. Their keepers aren't legally responsible for their actions. Dang, dude. Damn it, she's playing devil's advocate. But I suppose that's fitting for her. But she still casts invisibility to keep Marineth hidden that night. Mr. Cuthbert, I always cast invisibility on Marineth. I can't very well let people see him. Gah. Face it, Mr. Cuthbert, you have nothing on me. I did not commit any crimes during the Lord's Ball. Every crime related to the murder was committed by Marineth. Man, I just looked at every piece and I don't know the answer. Let's see what we got. Let me check again. I did not commit any crimes during the Lord's Ball. What about trying to steal Arya Steelman's husband, huh? I mean, we haven't proved this yet, but it's the only thing I can think of. Beatrice, Marineth required your magic to break the wards guarding the spore sporting. You might be able to explain why you cast invisibility that night, but you can't explain why you cast an evocation spell powerful enough to shatter that display case. Oh, that. I'd almost forgotten. I plead guilty. What? To the charge of grand theft, I mean. I ordered Marineth to help me steal that artifact so I could sell it on the black market. I would have never imagined that he'd use it to murder my father. Right. It doesn't matter if she's found guilty of stealing the sword. I love how I got 2 right, but her bar's still full. Ooh. That just means that on the last one, it's gonna be like a 100-0, isn't it? The Slayer will only take effect if she's found to be responsible for her father's death. Damn it, is there seriously nothing you can do? Marineth will take the fall on Beatrice's behalf. Marineth, it's not too late. You can still do the right thing and tell the truth. Right. This still does absolve you bring a demon to the lawyer's ball. Marineth, the sense of first degree murder is death. Are you really willing to die for your keeper's crimes? That's a pretty good answer. Though I don't see how it affects Beatrice's bar. Alright. The music didn't change. Marineth, the sentence for first-degree murder is death. Are you really willing to die for your keeper's crimes? Oh, you stupid Heavensborn. Demons never truly die. When our bodies are destroyed, we return to the abyssal hells. Hell? If I were to die in accordance with your laws, I would only return to my plane unharmed. What? Even if I could die, a fate much worse than death awaits me if I fail. Shut up. Those 3 are a pain to argue against when they're together. Who's the 3rd one, Ruby? Or the judge? You can't bake brownies without breaking a few eggs. So, do you have anything else, Mr. Cuthbert? I didn't think so. Your Honor, it appears we found the true culprit. I can't believe you killed my father. Bad puppy. I'm so cross-product with you. I should give my apologies. I won't do it again. Don't worry, I forgive you. Ugh. Now then, is there any reason why this trial hasn't ended already, Your Honor? Come on, don't you have anything else? There is one thing. Is there? Damn it, not again. Oh, is that all you can do now? Glare at me? That was a voice acted line. Gah. Need some chocobos to break your confidence? What? Marineth, what did you just do? I've been watching him. He's been using an old celestial trick. But it's weak. Your divine gaze won't work here, Heavensborn. You! It looks like that was your last piece, Cuthbert. Checkmate. No, this can't be how it ends. Not after you've come this far. So you lose a case. Big deal. You still have a pretty good record. What is it that you like to say in these situations? Right in his dang little pretty boy face. Checkmate, Cuthbert. Bake him away, toys. Well, I have to say this was one of the more eventful trials I've ever seen. It was many things, if not enlightening. But I suppose it all ended the same. Come on, think of something. Anything. I didn't use the rat in the vents. Evidence. Or did I use that with the monkey? I don't remember. Or with the... I might have used it with the dog. While I find the defendant's actions quite suspect, I must agree with their argument. Aside from the theft of Lord Harrelson's exhibit, none of Miss Frigga's actions that night are illegal under Wyvernguard law. And there's no proof that the defendant is responsible for her familiar's actions. Isn't there? Let's see about that. Guys, manage your unbreakable bond with the target. Telepathic communicate with the target over any distance. Just to choose to see through the as long as the contact. And lastly, the guest can cast spells at the location target. But she still like watched it happen? Maybe she wasn't paying attention at the time. Not really strong enough. We will be taking a brief recess. Why are you taking a recess right before announcing the verdict? Just to build suspense. Damn it, is this seriously how it's going to end? After everything you've gone through to get here? This world is bleak, merciless, and unforgiving. But I've seen you. I know how bright the light within you is. Use my eyes. Peer beyond the divine gate as I once did. Marineth called you a heavens board, and your mother told you that there's a light within you. I have no idea what that means. What even is the divine gate? Why do you have the Eye of Horus? Why are you able to read people's minds? You've been so lost lately, but you thought you finally figured out who you were supposed to be. But all of this, everything you've been working towards, it was all a lie. You spent your whole life trying to be like Ms. Timora, but is she even like her? No. She just wanted to raise you into a tool for the Eye Taker. She was never your guardian. She was never your mother. Your real mother died years ago. Is Eris right? Is everyone in your life just trying to use you? Looking back on it, you've had no idea what to do with yourself since your mother died. You've just been making mistake after mistake, leaving Aranax, trusting Timora, becoming an attorney. You've always just done as you're told. You never once made a path for yourself. But you saved Celeste and Wallace and Dracogen, all when no one else would stand up for them. Was helping them a mistake? You fought for a dream that doesn't exist, but that doesn't mean that you can't make it real. It's true that you followed Timora's lead, but you've always done what you thought was right above anything else. You wouldn't have stood up to that criminal if you truly didn't know right from wrong. And you wouldn't be standing here if you just done as you were told. What do I do? I'm not going to tell you that. You already know the answer. You've always known the answer. Take a deep breath and relax your thoughts. How do you prove that Beatrice murdered Marina? Situations can seem hopeless sometimes, but there's always a way to win in the end. Greater than. Let's try evidence. Tell a lie that kills Harold and Eugene. Tell a lie that connects Beatrice and Marineth. I'd rather kill him. In order to convict Beatrice, I need to prove that she was responsible for Marineth's actions. People leave trails. Trails! So, alright. There was a trace of illusion magic in the scene of the crime. So, like, she had continued to cast the invisibility on him when he was mid-murdering her father. But I don't know, because there's, like, those illusion traces were all over the vents. So that doesn't necessarily add up. People leave trails even when they think they've committed the perfect crime. Something always gets left behind. There has to be something that proves Beatrice gave Marinette that order. Beatrice's relationship with Marinette is clearly different than a relationship between two humans. What is unique about Beatrice's relationship with Marinette? A specific way that their relationship works. Their connection is facilitated through a pact. That sounds good. This is less to do with the familial bond spell and more to do with what Harold told us about demons. But I think it sounds good. There's a specific way their relationship works. Where they're packed, as Marinette calls it. Did he say that? I don't know. Wasn't there something that someone said, but what was it? Who told you something about demonic pacts? This guy. Oh, right. The sort of spell that is said to have been forged using a pact between a demon and a mage. You get back with the demon just asking for trouble? They definitely betrayed the first chance they got. Legends say that demons often drafted blood contracts for this reason. You mean like legally binding document? Concept is similar, but once you sign a blood contract, both you and the demon are magically compelled to fulfill its terms. That's right, Beatrice must have made a blood contract with him. A legally binding document that must describe. Are we gonna have to look at this contract like the Conjure contract from Mistborn? Leafa did tell you that Beatrice would never trust someone that she couldn't control. So she would only put herself in a situation where she had full control over Marinette's action. But it's not as if they'll ever show it to me. It would be a tall order to even prove that blood contracts even exist. I guess you have a point. But if you ask me, I think you've done a wonderful job so far. Thanks, real mom. So just this once, let me guide you the rest of the way. Cheat code. What? Tyrion, your eyes don't actually read mine. Could have fooled me. They give you the means to reveal truths that are being concealed. Oh, so it's like even more OP than that. You can pull the truth out of anyone and anything. The truth. So, say it together with me. Imperium Arcanum. Marinette, dweller of Avernus. Oh, we're getting deep. We're getting into the lore now.
Wait, what are you doing?
By the eye of Horus, I issue upon you a divine edict. Release thy guards and manifest your blood contract with Beatrice Frege. What? Yo, evidence. It's a legal document written in blood. It's also 50 pages long. Luckily, you somehow know the excerpt of the exact section you need. How convenient. Marinette is prohibited from killing or injuring any and all humans. Beatrice Frege can designate individuals that are exempt from this rule. And exempted individuals will only remain so for 24 hours. After that, Marinette cannot harm them unless told otherwise. What if, like, she said that before she went to the party, but then changed her mind, but then he was like, well, it hasn't been 24 hours. Seems like a good loophole that Beatrice can use. You did it, but how? Is that really your? No. that's not important right now. She gave you what you needed. The rest is up to you.
What in the nine hells was that? When did you learn to?
Mr. Cuthbert, what just happened? Your Honor, I just made the witness manifest their blood contract.
You did what?
Blood contract? You can think of it as a legally binding document. It lays out the terms of the pact between Beatrice Frege and her familiar.
Yeah.
Incredible. Where did you learn to do such a thing? The library? Oh, this reeks of, Fairly Odd Parents. Where did you get that rocket jetpack? The internet? Wow, to think that our kingdom had access to such knowledge. Yeah, I'm not buying it. But the judge bought it, that's all that matters. How did you really find out how to do that? Internet? You're not sure if she'd believe you, even if you told her. Anyways, the defense's argument is such. Marineth was acting alone and the defendant is not to blame for his actions that night. However, take a look at page 7 of 50 of this blood contract. It specifies that Marineth is prohibited from killing any and all humans. There's only one scenario where he can do so. William was transmuted into a dog, and that's what allowed Marineth. So we need to find who's able to transmogrify a human. And that's the real culprit. And that's when Beatrice Frege designates someone to be exempt from this rule. You! Beatrice Frege, you didn't directly order Marineth to kill your father, but you implied it by telling Marineth that he could kill him. Not only that, you did so within the 24 hours of the Lord's Ball. Your intent was clear. You brought Marineth into Frege Manor with full knowledge that he could and would kill William Frege. And that is checkmate. Oh, I guess that means I win. And just when I thought the surprises were over, but in the end, we arrived at the truth. I was really hoping we could implicate Ruby during the court. Oh well, maybe episode 5. I suppose I can't disagree with that. What do you have to say for yourself, Lady Frege? Do not call me that. Almost funny that you hate your name that much. Your entire plan depended on your claim to the Frege estate. Do you have any idea what you've just cost me? Everything has been ruined because of you. Why should I care? You're just another noble trying to steal power for yourself. Don't you dare lump me together with those tyrants. I mean, dude, she was working with the Rebel Alliance. And also, like, Arya Steelman's still bae, even though she's a noble. And, like, Prince Aster is pretty awesome, too. You wouldn't have just liberated House Frege. We would have liberated everyone. Miriam, Leafa, Arya, even Aster. Our system is broken. The only way we can fix it is by burning it down from the inside. As long as King Olivier sits on the throne, this suffering will only continue. Lady Frege? As a prosecutor, I should warn you. You don't want to add treason to your list of crimes. Even though you'd like to see the king ousted as much as she does. Bro, don't add treason to your own crimes. It doesn't matter. I'm done either way.
Heavensborn. Look at page 46 of the blood contract.
By accepting this pact, Beatrice Frege forever binds her soul to the abyssal hells. Beatrice Frege fails to pay her debt by claiming House Frege and all of its assets. Her soul, her mind, and her life will be claimed by the Empress of Discord. contract goes on to name several parts of House Rhaegar's holdings. There's very little room for ambiguity. Arya was almost right. She just jumped to the wrong conclusion. My debts were never to the Eye Taker. They were to the Abyssal Hells. Why would you agree to something like this? Because I miscalculated. This folder are records of your many plots against House Tyrion and the Crown. It'd be a shame if this information fell into their hands.
You think this feeble attempt to blackmail will frustrate me? I've dealt with far more formidable adversaries than you. There's nothing I can't solve with House Rhaegar's resources.
What are you talking about? Lucio Steelman isn't the type of person you can just buy.
It's clear your time away has taught you nothing. Everyone can be more.
Before I left, he controlled every aspect of my life. I saw him as this unstoppable, tyrannical force, but I never even considered one possibility. That William Frege was a sheltered moron. He honestly thought he could pay off Lucio Steelwind? Anyone who's met him would know that would never work. I could have sent this information to House Steelwind and the King, but I was running out of time. I needed to inherit House Frege as soon as I could. I felt trapped. I felt angry. I just wanted something to change. Something about this feels wrong. Something deep inside you was crying out in anger. That blood contract is still a legal contract, isn't it? What? Am I gonna have to defend her against demons all of a sudden? That would be so cool. If it's a contract, we can dispute it. We can find some kind of loophole to get you out of it.
What? Trying to redeem the enemy you just defeated? You really are a heavensborn.
I'm sorry, Mr. Cuthbert, but I won't accept your help. What? Why? We can at least try, right? Did you seriously come this far just so you could die?
To dispute a blood contract is to bet your own soul. If you fail to render it null, your soul will be dragged into hell alongside his.
Are we setting up episode 5? Oh man.
Even your divine blood won't save you from that fate.
But still, I can't just... You've beaten me, Mr. Cuthbert. I don't want to drag anyone else down with me anymore. Not you, not Leafa, not Miriam. Despite everything, I still have my dignity.
I believe there's no further need to prolong this trial. Bailiff, please escort Lady Frege and her familiar to a holding cell. I'll be passing my verdict shortly.
Like what? Hey, are you okay? Yeah, as okay as I can be. Bro, my regex does not account for slashes. We're gonna have to take a look at that. I said regex? I meant regex. I have to learn how regexes work again. You still feel uneasy about how things turned out. Doesn't feel quite like the victory you were hoping for. Oh yeah, because I think it only accounts for extensions that are 5 characters long. So because of the slash, it doesn't actually see that as a URL. Yeah, it's like with GIF. I mean, I did mean to say regex because I know it stands for regular expression, so regex just makes more sense. I was caught off guard. Tyrion Cuthbert used the Eye of Horus, and I got pressured into mispronouncing regex. Yeah. It's kind of funny how, like, the toilet paper thing, they refer to the patent and they're like, this is the way toilet paper hangs. Look at the patent. The designer intended it this way. But with GIF, everyone just completely disagrees with the creator of that format, right? Still feel uneasy about things turned out. Doesn't feel quite like the victory you're hoping for. You fought against the demons, and you can't help but feel like you lost. Even when you win, you lose. Cuthbert, we need to talk. What's done is done, but the boss isn't going to take kindly to what you've done today. I know it's a long shot, but maybe if you talk to him, he'll... No. Cuthbert, this is serious. He's going to send people after you. Dangerous people. You can't just ignore this. Okay. How old were you when your real mother was executed? 10 years old? She just brought up my taskbar for a second. That was creepy. How did she do that? Timora was the adult in that situation, and what did she do? She fed your anger and hatred for the nobility instead of allowing you to process your grief healthfully. Timora took you away from your only friends and isolated you from society. As a result, you never formed any other relationships. She isolated you because she wanted to use you. But, like, you definitely lied about Celeste, so... interesting. Alright, speaking from a meta perspective, I wonder if that's why the writers actually, like, wrote that in. Like, Eris definitely was poisoning me against Celeste intentionally, and that's obvious to the viewer. I wonder if they actually did that purely for us to see that she's doing the same thing with Ruby. There's a really subtle way to actually get to that point, and I appreciate it. The inventor said hard. I'm pretty sure the inventor said soft G. And everyone was just like, no, we're saying GIF. I could be wrong, though. I don't know. I only know, like, 3 things. Shut up. Tyrion. How could you do this? How could you work with criminals? Cuthbert, for, like, being my mom for, what, like, 10, 12 years? The fact that she calls me by my last name? Everything you told me, all those ideals about protecting the weak, it was all a lie. Everything Commander White said about you is true, isn't it? I'm just trying to... I don't want your help. As you yell at her, your voice echoes throughout the lobby. Several of the people nearby turn silent. I gave up everything for you. My childhood, my home, my happiness. I left it all behind to chase the ideal that you told me you were fighting for. But it was never real, was it? You made me throw away everything. All for a gosh dang to lie. But I'll make it real. And I'll do it without you. Tyrion, As she reaches her hand out to you, you step away from her. How are you gonna pay for your girlfriend now, bro? You never cared about me, did you? All you cared about was using the Eye of Horus. That's not... Shut up. I don't want to hear any more of your damn lies. Go away. Get the hell away from me. I never want to see you again. Without a word, she walks away from you. Tyrion. She reaches out her hand to hold yours again, but she hesitates this time. No! Aww. Well, we still have Arya and Aster to root for. It's fine. Can I play that back? Yeah. Alright, stenographer, read the last lines. Tyrion, she reached out her hand to you, step away from her. She curses you out and then says, I never want to see you go. No, did I say that? Tyrion said all that. All you care about is using the Eye of Horus. That's that. Shut up, I don't want to hear. Yeah. Yeah, Tyrion. All Ruby said was, that's not. Shut up, go away. I never want to see you again. Those are all Tyrion. Yeah, my bad for not having distinct enough voices. Do you honestly think Celeste will ever love you? I'm sure you understand now. Tymora can only afford to pay her exorbitant salary because of my father. Giant deep nest worms? Dude, oh, it's lovely this time of year, isn't it? How many, Oh, I'll talk to you later. Man, that game's so good. But, alright, how many, have you gone to see any of the Dreamers yet? I guess I'll say that. I'm trying to think. I think the first Dreamer I went to was Lurian the Watcher. You don't know what a Dreamer is? Oh, interesting. Did you, like, defeat the Mantis Lords and then go straight into Deep Nest from there? If so, I'm kind of impressed at your balls there. That's so good. I'm gonna tell all my friends. I defeated the Mantis Lords like as soon as I got the Mantis Claw. I fought the Mantis Lords. Then I went to the screen to the left, and I was just like, nope, I don't want to be here. I'm gonna go to the City of Tears. That's awesome, dude. That's one of the awesome things about Hollow Knight is how you can basically do things in whatever order you feel like. But that's, yeah, going into Deep Nest right then and there after grabbing Mantis Claw, that's a decision. It's a perfectly valid decision, though. That's so good. That's interesting. I want to ask you something, but I don't. Made it to Distant Village? Is that the one in Sholazar Basin? Or no? Wait, Distant Village. Did you go through do you have Lumafly Lantern? That's crazy to me. If you got to Distant Village without Lumafly Lantern, then like... It's the one where you sit on a bench and the monster tries to eat you. Sit on a bench and the monster tries to eat you. Yeah. Like you get stuck to the bench and all the people crowd around you. Oh man, I wish you had streamed Hollow Knight. I'd love to see the route that you took. But like, getting to Distant Village without Lumafly Lantern is kind of hecked. So like, I wonder if you actually got that. You have the lantern, okay. Yeah, you just buy the lantern, but it's... Okay. That's really fascinating. I think I put off buying the lantern for a decent amount of time. I wonder what I would have done if I ended up in Deep Nest without Lumafly Lantern. Like, I probably would have ended up just taking a different route through that zone and not making it to Distant Village. Which then probably would have put off me finding Distant Village for a really long time. So you haven't... Alright, so you haven't gone to City of Tears then yet, right? Because you got the Mantis Claw, and you went straight to Deep Nest, and then the Distant Village. So you haven't been to City of Tears? That's so interesting. You went to City of Tears to get the needle upgrade. Okay. Right. I'm pretty sure you need Mantis Claw to get into City of Tears. That's why I'm thinking that. And then you just got the needle upgrade and then went back and went to Deep Nest. That's crazy. Explored almost the entire village looking for it. Should have gone left instead of right in the first screen. Oh. And okay. Maybe you do know what a dreamer is, but you don't know that it's called that then. But then again, I'm not sure because there might be some other prerequisites to getting certain cutscenes in that game. That's crazy. With that one City of Tears boss with the original needle. Oh, you mean the Soul Lord? That's pretty good. Like the guy in Soul Sanctum? Oh, that's cool. I think I somehow missed Soul Sanctum, and I ended up fighting Soul Lord like really late in the game, and I probably had like a level 3 nail and a bunch of a bunch of spells and badges and mask shards and stuff. Like, that's nuts. Yeah, my girlfriend only wants me for my money. Got it. You actually think she enjoys spending time with you? Tyrion, you have to look at this rationally. Any support or affection that she's given you has only been to keep you as an employer. Oh, yeah. No! Yes! What? You can't react to me in my reminiscence? Can't believe it. We actually won. Tyrion, Celeste, there's no way for you to avoid checkmate next turn. Just surrender. There, what about that? Checkmate. Damn it. You've been acting weird since we arrived in Aranax. Does this have something to do with your mother? Please, just talk to me. Honestly, if they if they do this, like, before episode 5 starts, that would actually be super fun. I'm your friend, aren't I? Your hands are trembling. Why are you so scared right now? Feel Celeste hold your trembling hand from behind you. Aww. It's the same sensation you felt back then. Your anxiety fades as you take a deep breath. I'm not going to do that, Miss Tamora. As soon as I told your hand, you reach out and grasp it. Oh! She smiles as you take hold of it. She seems glad you didn't pull away this time. Without thinking, you pull her into a hug. Huh? Sorry, I just really need this right now. Should I stop? No, people are staring at us. Who cares what they think? I mean, like, Arya already thinks we're going out, so we may as well just do it, right? They're nobles. They're going to hate us no matter what we do. That sounds familiar. I heard that line before. You're still unsure of what you're going to do next. Perhaps you don't need to. Even if Timora's ideal is a lie. Hey, Celeste, there's been something I've been wanting to tell you about. Alright, I'm ready. Wait. I'm gonna drink water. Okay. Now I'm ready. What is it? It's hard to explain, really. I don't even know where to begin. But it's about an ability I have. That's not what she wanted to hear, my guy. But I'm sure she'll still be happy that you're opening up to her. I call it the Eye of Horus. All right, Peggy Hill. Even if that idea was a lie, you have the power to make it real. Even if you can't trust Tamora anymore, you have people in your life that you can trust. Well, I'm just gonna imagine that he also confesses feelings to her. What a fine mess this is. That kid has completely and utterly ruined everything. As much as Timora hates it, we're going to need to put him in the ground. I don't think that will be necessary. Sorry, love, I know you're fond of him, but I can't let an insult like this go unanswered. He's gonna have to pay the price. I think you misunderstood me, father, in quotes. I meant that this facade is no longer necessary? Come again? What the hell? Is something wrong? Father? Who the hell are you? You look nothing like my daughter, so why? It happened centuries ago, I believe. Your great ancestor hated the monarchy and needed a weapon to fight the mages of the noble house. Is she like just a demon? So he made a pact with me. What are you talking about? But things didn't turn out like he wanted, I'm afraid. Poor Lord Laren's plot was discovered, and his noble house was stripped of its rank and status. He's not one of the four pillars. Exactly. His very name was stricken from the annals of history. He was supposed to give me Wyverngard, but I had to settle for claiming his bloodline. Liaren? How do you know about my name? No one knew about that name, not even my real daughter. I know it's been centuries, but I haven't forgotten, Jan. Everyone in your bloodline belongs to me, including your daughter. You bastard, what did you do to her? What did I do to all my prey? I made her suffer. No. Did you know that she was crying out for you for months? Oh, I made her watch, you know. I made her watch as I took her place. All while the father that she so desperately called out for forgot who she was. All while my minions slowly and painfully tore her soul apart. You monster. You gosh danged monster. I enjoyed her torment while it lasted, but even that couldn't satisfy me. What I really crave is the blood of a celestial. That's what this is about, that stupid kid? But I can't believe you killed my dear Tyrion just yet. I can't have you kill my dear Tyrion just yet. At least not until I'm done with him. You demon, I'll kill you! This man is your enemy. Your life's goal is, and always has been, to exact revenge on, it still says illusion, doesn't say enchantment yet. I got my eye on you, Eris. What the hell are you talking about? You. I lost everything because of you. They kicked me out of the Inquisition because of your false testimony. What? Let go of me. You killed my entire family. I won't let you get away with this. What are you talking about? I didn't do anything. Hey, isn't that the noble who killed all those children? I heard he got released by paying off the judge. What are you all talking about? Get away from me. Don't lie to us. We know what you did. No. Stay away. We finally entered the final act, my dearest Tyrion. And from what I've seen, I think you know exactly how I'm going to break you. I hope you're just as excited as I am. Okay. Wow, I wish I had more time to play this game tomorrow and Friday, but oof. Yeah. Hoping to set aside some time Saturday and maybe blast through episode. Holy crap. Alright, see you next time, everybody. Thanks for watching.